Good morning, everybody, and happy Sunday. Welcome to Coffee and a Card Facebook Live. Sonia, thank you so much for sharing. Good morning to you. Happy weekend, my friends. I hope everybody is doing well and that you all had a lovely weekend. We are getting some more snow here in Markham, Ontario. So yeah, winter is showing no signs of going away. Good morning, Betty. Good morning, Keisha. Good morning, Natalie. Thank you so much for joining. For those that are joining for the first time, I'm Zara Premji, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and creative coach from Markham, Ontario, Canada. I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for almost 9 years, and the reason that I started stamping was because I was just a busy mom. I was working, I had children and had all the things to do, and I just needed something, a creative outlet for myself. And I was invited to a stamping workshop, and I just immediately fell in love with the ease and that sense of accomplishment that I got from card making. So I've built a business on my love for card making. And one of the things that I love so much about it is sharing it with others. So I'm always grateful for you guys joining me here. It literally energizes me. And I think it's always really fun to share our common love of crafting together. So I want to thank you guys for taking time out of your mornings, if it's morning where you're watching. I'm just going to take a moment to say hello to some friends. Good morning, Betty, Heather. Good morning, Denise, over on YouTube. Good morning, Nicole. Yeah, you're getting snow in Ottawa as well. I heard that there was a snow day in, was it Ottawa? Maybe it wasn't, but I heard that a few counties and areas had snow days on Friday because it was a lot of snow. Good morning, Joy. Good morning, Linda from Texas. Hello, Janet. Janet, it must be very early for you in the morning, like 7 a.m. Good morning, Suzanne. Good morning, Sharon. Good morning, Anise. Welcome, everybody. So the way this goes is I am going to create a card while we chat and drink some coffee. I've got my coffee here. And so I love to see the chatter in the comments. So please keep that going. If you have any questions or comments, I always love to hear from everybody. And I always love to see how people start to kind of connect and communicate with each other in the comments as well. So have fun with this and let's get started. I'm going to flip this screen a little bit because I'm going to show you some things on my desktop. Now, for those of you that are new to Stampin' Up! Or are just kind of starting to hear about it now, we have a full catalog of products that can be used for your paper crafting. And let me see if I can get that here. This is our annual catalog. So this runs from May to April. So it's actually, sorry for the glare, it's actually going to be retiring at the end of April. And so if there are some products in here that you've seen that you're falling in love with and you don't yet have, then you'll definitely want to consider ordering those before this catalog retires. This also has all of our basic tools, our ink, our cardstock. It has a wide selection of pattern paper, all of the tools that would be used with our cut and emboss machine, which you'll get to see in action today. So all of that's in the annual catalog. Then we release a couple of mini catalogs, we call them, and I always laugh at it because it's still 90 something pages. It's not mini by any sense, and there are a ton of things in here that I have fallen in love with, and we'll be using one of them today. So in our mini catalog, there are lots of different products for a number of different occasions that you might encounter from January to June. So things like Valentine's Day, Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, and then it also has a wide range of all occasion products as well. So that's our mini catalog. And the last one I'm going to show you is our Sale-A-Bration Brochure. Now, this is a promotion that happens now twice a year. It used to be once a year. And they do it now in January and February and July and August. So this promotion is going to be ending on February 28th. And so this is a really good time to sort of do a plug for getting any of your last minute Sale-A-Bration items. Now, the way this works is every time you spend $60 or more, you get to choose an item in here for free. So it's a great value and a great opportunity to start to build your crafting supplies if you are just beginning, as well as to expand your crafting supplies if you are already an experienced crafter. So a couple of my favorites in here we're going to be using today. This one here is called the Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper. And this is a 6x6 pack of paper that is just, I mean, you you cannot not feel happy looking at this paper. It just is literally like sunshine and rainbows. So all of these gorgeous patterns. There are some geometric ones. So not everything is rainbow themed. You can see there are stripes and these amazing polka dots. Lots of different sort of geometric patterns that are just, that make it really, they lend themselves very nicely to making a lot of all occasion, as well as masculine cards as well. Like I think that this one here would make it make a really good masculine card. So there are lots of different options. And then we've got the other side, which has these smaller patterns. I feel like you could use them year round for any occasion whatsoever. And so I think that this is like probably one of my most favorite paper packs that they have come out with. So tell me in the comments if you already have the Sunny, or just say me in the comments to let me know if you have this paper yet. And this paper is free with a $60 order, and you can order anything you want. You don't have to order what I'm using today. You can order anything that you want, and as long as it totals $60 retail, you can pick this. We have, oh, hold on. I gotta disconnect my AirPods. What has happened here? Can you still hear me? Okay, let me know if you can still hear me, because my AirPods somehow connected to my MacBook, and now I feel like, okay, you can hear me. Awesome. It's always the scariest thing for me. The other product that I'm going to be using today, that's wonderful. Thank you for letting me know. The other product that I'm going to be using today is the Special Moments stamp set. This is an all occasion stamp set. There are 21 different stamps in here. And I always love when you have a stamp set that will kind of cover you across all of the occasions. So this one has thanks for brightening up my day, just a card to say you're amazing. There's a sympathy in there, you're holding it, probably an inside sentiment. So lots of really nice ones. Where would I be without a friend like you? Happy birthday, big congratulations. So I always think, like, if you have a stamp set that will cover you for all your occasions, it's definitely good value. So that stamp set is free with a $120 order. And I think it's because of the number of sentiments in there. So we are going to get started. Now I want you to stick around till the very end, because I'm going to tell you possibly my most important tip for card making. Okay, so if you don't want to see the card that I'm making, you may want to look away. I've got it right here. I'm going to turn it over in just a couple of seconds, but in the meantime, I'm just going to start to get my stuff ready. So I'm going to give you a few different tips for the products that we're using today. So one of them is the Rainbow of Happiness bundle. I am a huge fan of rainbows. Like, I love rainbows in general. I love like rainbow colors on a card. And I love boho rainbows in particular. So I feel like the shape of these, if you look around at Pinterest and Instagram and all over Google, boho rainbows are really on trend right now. So this particular stamp set totally caught my eye. And there's so many different fun things that you can do with it. There are also the brilliant rainbow dies that coordinate with it. So as always with our die sets, or often is the case with our die sets, they have some that will coordinate with some of the individual shapes in the stamp set. So you could stamp these for rainbow arcs, and then you could actually cut them out with this, or you could use this with the designer series paper. And then we've got these large sort of partial rainbow arcs, which I'm going to be using today. And so the die set on its own is amazing, but of course you wouldn't want to not have the stamp set. So great set of dies. Highly recommend getting this one. This is still going to be available until hopefully the end of June, if it doesn't sell out first. And so you'll definitely want to add that to your arsenal. Let me see, am I set up? Okay, I'm going to show you the card now. So if you don't want to see it, look away. Good morning, my friends that have just joined. Hello, hello. Okay, Dawn has managed to acquire everything in the Sale-A-Bration twice. Yes, you're not alone, Dawn. I have, especially right now, because we're getting our basement renovated, I'm just realizing how much stuff I have. But yeah, the Sale-A-Bration stuff is fantastic. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, here we go. This is the card that I'm going to be showing today. And it's just a fun take on those partial arcs. And I've used a stamp from the Rainbows of Happiness. And I've also used a sentiment from the Special Moment stamp set. Okay, so don't forget, you need to stick around to the end because I'm going to tell you the most important card tip, which might kind of make you laugh a little bit too. So I am going to start with a Whisper White thick card base, and I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to crease that. So this is probably one of the most essential tools for card making is to have your bone folder, because while our trimmer does have a scoring blade and it's fantastic, you just want to get that really clean crease on your card. Now I've taken a piece of the Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper. I've gone with one that's not overly patterned. It's just kind of a diagonal stripe. Good morning, Amy. Okay, so I am going to, Shirley, what's your question? Whisper White. Are you asking about the card base? Oh, I know what I did. I said Whisper White thick. Whisper White is what we used to call our cardstock. It's basic white thick. Okay, so thank you for alerting me to that. So it's basic white thick cardstock. How many people have been around since Stampin' Up! Had Whisper White? It wasn't that long ago that they switched it. But I make that mistake all the time because I've been stamping for 9 years, and I think for like 7.5 of those years, maybe longer, maybe 8 years, I have been calling it Whisper White because that's what it was called. Okay, yeah, sorry about the confusion, Shirley. I'm gonna just drink my coffee. This is coffee number 1 for me. Shelly says it will forever be Whisper White in my head. Okay, so what am I doing next? Next, we're going to use our cut and emboss machine. So I'm going to be using an embossing folder, and I really better get my coffee out of the way because I'm about to bring in my cut and emboss machine. And for those of you that have been crafting for a while, you'll know how that could end up. So I'm going to take my hammered metal embossing folder. This is in our annual catalog. It's a really great embossing folder for, you kind of need those that you can use with any particular stamp sets, so that like it doesn't have a theme to it. It just has a really cool small pattern. And I'm going to do my embossing here using my cut and emboss machine. So our embossing folders have these lines on them, which help you to align your cardstock if it's a pattern that you need to have aligned. So like there are some where you will want it straight so that it doesn't come out kind of crooked. But with the hammered metal one, it isn't actually a big deal because it's not a directional pattern. So let me just get my cut and emboss machine ready. And I just see my specialty plate is behind me. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an update on our basement. So for those that are joining for the first time, we found out with very short notice that we were going to be starting a basement renovation. It's not that we decided suddenly, it just happened that our designer became available sooner than we had expected because they had a project cancel. And so she basically gave us a week. She said, like, if it's too short notice, then don't worry. But we were like, if we don't get in with her now, then we'll have to wait possibly months or years. So we decided to start our basement renovation, had a week to get everything out of the basement and onto the main floor. And so now my craft setup is in my dining room. So what you're seeing maybe in this screen is my dining area. There's I have set up some shelves and stuff where I've got my card making supplies. So it's functional, but oh my goodness, it is really teaching me what I don't want my new craft setup to be like. So I just have one big table and I do all my crafting here, but like literally after making one project, it becomes a hot mess. Okay, so let me just show you the embossing on this. This is a 3D embossing folder, which just means that it's got a little bit of a deeper impression, and you can use either side of it. So you can use the embossed side or the debossed side. So I have like kind of maybe 2 or 3 embossing folders that I tend to use most often when I just want kind of a small pattern on the card. And so I've chosen to use the hammered metal today. I haven't used this in a while and I just wanted to give it some love. So I'm now going to just stick this onto my card and just set that aside. All right. Hello, Denise from Winnipeg. Hello, Zana from UK. Oh, hello, hello. Oh, yeah, Shirley. Yeah, a lot of people probably still call it Whisper White. Okay, bringing the cut and emboss machine back into the screen because now we're going to do some die cutting. So our cut and emboss machine is like probably I call it the gateway drug because it's once you have this, you just I feel like you're forever going to be a card maker because it just makes card making so fun. I get this even after 9 years, I get this feeling when I use it that I can't quite put into words. It's just like I don't know, it just never gets old. And so right now we have a special where if you like if you have an expensive item or a group of expensive items that you would like to get, then our starter kit is the best deal. So they call it the starter kit, but that's a little bit confusing. Really what it means is that you get to choose $165 in product and you pay $135, no tax and no shipping in most provinces. And so the cut and emboss machine, I have to look it up because I always forget. I think it's 163. A kid with a new toy is a really good way to put it, Joy. Okay, let me just look. I'm sorry. Cut. Is it Stampin' Cut and Emboss Machine? There we go. 152, 153. So for those that don't already have this tool and would like to have it in your life, the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is $163, okay? So it's I mean, it's not like, considering what you can do with it, it's not an overly expensive item. I can say that because I use it almost on every project, but obviously we have budgetary constraints, and for some people, 163 plus tax and shipping will amount to like almost $200. So if that was something that was on your wish list, I would highly suggest you do the starter kit because you can choose up to 165 and you pay 135 flat. And for until tomorrow, so because Sale-A-Bration is ending tomorrow, you also get to pick 2 free stamp sets. Okay, so you could go through the catalogs and find the 2 most expensive stamp sets on your wish list, and you could get those for free until tomorrow. So really, you're actually getting, like, I would say we have stamp sets that are about $40. So you're really kind of getting $240 worth of product, and you're getting it shipping for free, and it's only $135. So it's such a good deal. So I am here just die cutting those rainbow arcs. So you know that if you saw the card at the beginning, you know that the arcs are different colors on my card. So I'm not going to actually cut all 4 colors because I did some of that earlier when I was creating my original card. And so I'm going to just show you a little hack for when you are using these dies and you are cutting multiple of the pieces. Okay, so all you would need for this is any kind of cellophane bag, or our clear envelopes work well for this, where you would just take your extra bits and leave them in there, and then you can put them in your die envelope. And I have another one. Oh, here it is. So what I did here is I just took my extra pieces and I just put them in a clear envelope, and then you can leave it either with your stamp set or you can put it right into your die sleeve, which mine is sticking right now. So you can, good morning, Sue. Good morning, Debbie. Hello, Darlene. Thank you for joining, everybody. So you could just take this and stick it right in here. And so when you go to use it again, you see what you have already cut, and you could just leverage what you've already got, or, you know, it just saves you some cutting. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're going to line up how we want these to go. Good morning, Shirley. So I am going to just set this up like this. Now, I did my original one with the Magenta Madness as the largest. If I didn't just die cut it again, I would have to pick and choose and change up the color scheme a little bit. So for the rest of the pieces, I'm going to change it up. So I'm then going, I'll show you the difference when I actually go to, when I show you the originals, okay? So then our third largest is going to be this white one here, which I'm gonna actually stamp on. And then, no wait, I'm gonna have to switch something. This is gonna be yellow. So you can just kind of play around, but once you have cut these pieces with 4 different colors of cardstock, you can make 4 different cards with it. Okay, so it's a really good way to mass produce. So that's kind of how our card is going to go. And I'm realizing that I stuck down my white embossed piece a little crooked, but it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's handmade. I think that's how people know that it's handmade, is that it's not always entirely perfect. So I'm going to take my Memento Black, and this is one of the stamps from the Rainbow of Happiness. It's just this little dotted one here. Not a necessary step, but I just think it's going to add that sort of boho look to it. So I'm going to just stamp some of these dots here. Fill in some of that white space. Whoops. And then just change the orientation around a little bit so it doesn't look all too linear. You'll see once you put it on the card that it won't even matter how you have stamped it. Okay, so we've got this little piece here. Perfectly imperfect. That kind of just defines who I think I am. Perfectly imperfect. Okay, so then you've got your pieces like that, and we can just go ahead and glue them on. So you have some different options. I mean, if you wanted this more centered, you could definitely do that. What I'm going to be doing is aligning this side edge and the bottom edge with the border of the embossed piece. So I'm just going, and I think liquid glue is probably the best one to use for this. So I'm just, because it'll give you some time to wiggle it around, align as you wish. There we go. So that one's done. And then we will do the next piece. So this is Daffodil Delight. You can use almost any shade of yellow. I just think having that pop of color is really nice. And if you're using the designer series paper, the Sunshine and Rainbows, there are some of them that have Mango Melody in them, which is like a kind of bright orangey color, orangey yellow. No, yellowy orange, I would say. And so you can totally mix it up based on the colors that you have available. But I think the dots add so much fun to it, like that element. I just think it makes it more boho looking. But again, not a necessary step. I always say, even if you don't have what I have, even if you don't have these exact colors or these exact tools, you can always just use the layout as inspiration. So you can look at the layout and think, well, how could I use what I do have to make a card? And I always think, like, wherever you can find inspiration, take it. You may want to save this. You may want to take a screenshot. I don't know if you have like a folder on your phone or an album on your phone where you save pictures of cards that inspire you, or Pinterest, whatever kind of works for you. But it's always nice to have a system. If you're anything like me, you probably find yourself watching a lot of card making videos and seeing a lot of pictures. And for me, I save them to all these different places, and then I don't remember where I've saved them. So find one system that works for you. For me, I like to save them in my Instagram collections, and then I also use Pinterest a lot. So, okay, so we've got the basics of our card. Let me just show you this close up. And remember, I told you I was going to tell you like the most important tip, which will, I think, make you laugh a little bit. I'm going to just check to see if I want to use a different sentiment here. Okay, so I used happy birthday on my first one, but I have a lady who helped me with my branding. So she just sent me a branding kit. So I'm trying to be a little bit more present on Instagram. And so she created this branding kit for me for, graphics and things like that. And she loves rainbows. It's part of her brand. Every time I see rainbows, I think of her, which I think means that she's doing a really good job at branding herself. So I'm going to use the sentiment that says, I think you're wonderful. And I'm going to send her this card to say thank you for helping me with my branding. Good morning, Carmen. Good morning. Good morning, Natalie. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining. Now, where is my Versamark ink? Are you guys loving the color? Like, you can't not be happy with a card like this, right? Like, it's just so fun and vibrant, and it made me just as happy to make it as it will to send it. So I'm stamping in Versamark because I'm going to heat emboss this in white emboss powder onto my card. Whoops. There we go. So I've just stamped it in Versamark, and I am adding some white powder. There we go. If you are on Instagram and you're not already following me, can you look me up at zara.premg? I've been dabbling in some Instagram reels, which are like short form video content. And they're sometimes entertaining, sometimes just a really quick way to see a card coming to life. So if you're not already on Instagram, go find me. I'm zara.premg. I would love for you to give me a follow. And I try and provide a little bit of humor and fun and tips and card making inspiration. So let me know if you need a link, okay? All right, so I'm gonna heat emboss this now. Oh, thank you. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to tell you something I've learned from doing Instagram Reels, life lessons I've learned from Instagram. I feel like that needs to be a blog post. Okay. Oh, I forgot to show you guys something else, something that my daughter made. Okay, so I've got my sentiment here that says, I think you're wonderful. Thank you so much, Shelly Sig. I'm looking forward to seeing your updated branding. Caught some of your Instagram reels this week and they were awesome. Yeah, I've been trying to do them a little bit more. Good morning, Lee. I've been trying to do them a little bit more. Pardon me, I'm just going to grab my trimmer. Sorry you had to see such a close up of my chest there. So I'm grabbing my trimmer and I'm going to just trim this. So I'm just eyeballing where the top of the sentiment is, and I just want to make sure that I don't cut it off at all, but I want it pretty narrow. So I've got this piece here that says, I think you're wonderful, and we're going to snip this a little bit. So Instagram Reels. Okay, so for those that are not on Instagram, I know that Facebook is also has a Reels section. So these are short form videos where they're usually less than a minute long, and you are, thank you. I'm reading some of the comments. Joy's saying they are funny, always bring a smile to my face. I've got a couple of good ones saved on my camera that I'm going to be uploading in the next week. Thank you, Janet. I appreciate you. So yeah, if Instagram Reels are just short form video, sometimes I speed things up a little bit. Sometimes you just find these audios and then you do these voiceovers, but I'm trying to relate them to my community. So making them relevant, like, you know, relevant to other card makers or other busy moms who want to find time for card making. So I do them, and the first few times, and don't get me wrong, I still feel this way. Like I literally wanted to vomit doing them the first few times. I would tell myself all the stories why I shouldn't post it. Oh, this one's not good. Oh, it's not perfect. The voiceover is not perfect. And I am now just surrendering to done is better than perfect. So if I've got it done, maybe it'll touch one person, maybe it'll bring a smile to one person, maybe it'll make one person laugh. And so I go ahead and post them. And what I'm realizing now as I'm doing them is I am feeling a bit more comfortable with them. So I don't necessarily feel as awkward or nervous doing them. They don't take me as long because once you start to do them, they are actually like you get the hang of it, and it's like card making, right? The first time you made a card, you probably were like feeling like everything needed to be perfect, and maybe you noticed every small little imperfection or felt like you needed to start again. But then as you start to do more and more and more, you just get into a groove. And it's the same thing with trying anything new. So I encourage you all, if there is something that you are sort of holding back on taking a leap on, go do it. Just do the thing. One of my favorite quotes is from Marie Forleo, and she says, you don't have to get it perfect, you just have to get it going. And it's so true. So whether you are watching this and you've never, you know, done card making, or there's a hobby you want to try, or you're running a business and you are holding back doing something, you know, that requires a lot of courage, or just taking you right out of your comfort zone, whatever it is, just go and do the thing, because you just can't think it into existence. You've got to just go ahead and do it. But I'll get off my soapbox now, but I feel very passionate about this. I tell my team this often. It's a message that we kind of embrace within our team community. We shout each other out for, you know, just stepping out of our comfort zone, for trying new things, for being brave. Like it's just, yeah, It's so important. Okay, I'm totally digressing. Let me just stick this on. Um, so Shelly's saying I'd seen the card ones before, but not the voiceover ones. They cracked me up. Yeah. um, Okay, here we go. The dishwasher. Yes, we've all experienced that. Okay, so I am just taking my favorite twine, which is from the Playful Pets. Add it to your order if you don't already have this in your life. The black and white is so sharp and so modern and so versatile. Like you can use it with everything. Are you guys liking this card? I just need to add a little bit of bling, and you guys are going to help me decide what we're using. Okay, I'm going to just take the first few comments. I know there's a little bit of a delay. But for this card, would you like to see matte black dots, polished dots, which are like a little, there's some little pink and then there are some clear, or would you like to see the blue adhesive back gems, which have this sort of holographic effect? So we've got three options: matte black, blue adhesive, polished dots, and go. Carmen, let me type it in the comments. Zara, oops, dot Premg. Shelly, I just saw your comment. Shelly's saying, I'm thinking about how many rolls of the red ribbon you must have. I have so many. I have so many. They're sitting beside me in this big Ziploc bag. Shelly, you probably saw them when you came to help me. Okay, what am I seeing here? We're seeing black, polished, blue. Okay, of course, you guys choose one of each. Black, black, iridescent, black, black. I think matte black might be the winner here. And I think I've got like one more of the little ones. So we're going to do a couple of the big ones here. So where's my handy take your pick tool? See, my basket is now empty except for, this is how I organize. For those of you that do Facebook Lives, I take a basket, which looks mammoth. It's actually not that big. And I put all of the stuff that I need for my card into the basket. And then some of you've probably seen the basket on the lives, but I just kind of start to take everything out because, and sometimes I forget things, don't get me wrong, but I find having it all in the basket means that I will hopefully be able to do it as smoothly as possible. And then I always look to make sure that my basket is empty at the end, because otherwise, if it's not, I've forgotten something. So let's do these little matte black dots. This is so cute. I just love, 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 love. Excuse me. I love this card. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to do this other one right here. I clearly need some new matte black dots. The other one that's really good is the classic matte dots, which is in the new mini catalog, and they have black, gray, off-white, and white. Okay, that's the card, friends. What do you guys think? Oh, thank you, Debbie. Thank you. All right, so here is the card. And for those that were looking, I put my Instagram handle in the comments. It's at Zara Premg. If you have trouble finding it, just message me and I'll give you a more direct link. So this is the card. It says, I think you're wonderful. And again, the rainbows are you'll feel so happy using them. So I just think if you can bring cheer to people, then you're winning. So let me show you the original card. And my favorite tip for card making is always stick your card on the right way. Okay, so I can't even describe to you how excited I was when I created this card this morning. I did it this morning. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love how this card turned out. I love the pop. I love the white and black. I love all of it. And then I go to open it and realize that I've stuck it on the wrong way. So my number one tip for card making is when you start to stick your card stuff down, make sure you're doing it in the right way. Okay, because I'm still going to use it. I'm going to send it to one of my friends that are a little wonky and we'll have a good sense of humor about it. But yeah, you want to stick it the right way. So this one, I was intentional about sticking it on the right way, I think. So that's my number one card making tip. I know. Tell me in the comments who has had this happen before, where you've stuck your stuff down backwards or on the wrong side. Oh, I know. You guys have all learned the hard way. Yeah, I've done it too, Janice. Send it to a left-handed friend. What a brilliant idea. That is such a good idea. I don't even know. Yeah, I'm trying to think of who my left-handed peeps are. So I hope that you've enjoyed that. I don't think I can zoom in, but hopefully you guys get a good view of the card. Tell me which one you like better. Do you like the matte black or do you like the polished dots? My original card had the polished dots. I used like the little bit of pink here. And I decided to just go with something subtle. And then this one here obviously stands out a little bit more. So you have some options and anything that you put on will look beautiful. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I want to thank you so much for joining me this morning. Really quickly, I just want to remind you that today is the last day of Saleabration. If you do decide that you would like to order either the Sunshine and Rainbows paper, or you like this bundle or anything, or the cut and emboss machine, and you need any help with your order, please let me know. And if you don't already have a demonstrator and you live in Canada and would like catalogs, please comment below catalogs and I will get in touch with you to send it to you. So thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I hope you all have a fabulous day and a great week ahead. Stay safe, stay warm, and I'll see you guys real soon. Bye for now. Oh, yes, Shirley, thank you. I'm so sorry. I always do this. I'm like about to say bye and then I remember something. So yesterday night, it was 10 o'clock p.m. and Amelia said to me, Mommy, I would like to do some paper crafting. So like we had all day yesterday, we played some board games and stuff. And then it was right before bed. And she said, Mommy, I would like to do some paper crafting. She didn't say card making, she said paper crafting. So she was like looking on YouTube, I guess, for some fun little origami videos and stuff. And I was like, you do know that like your mom does a bit of paper crafting and like I have a few things. Anyway, so this morning she woke up and after breakfast, I every time I have some retired designer series paper or cardstock, I give her like, stacks of it. And I gave her one of my old trimmers and I just said like, go and, do whatever you want with it. So she made a card and she took, some of you will recognize this designer series paper. So she took some paper, she took some old washi tape and then made a little pattern and then a little message. And she did hers the right way. It says, to Daddy and Mommy, I love you, from Amelia. Let me flip this really quickly. Sorry. So this is the front of her card. And then you open it up. And actually, she did this fun little, she left a little bit of a space here where she said, for Daddy and my Mommy. And then you open it up and she put a piece of cardstock inside. So she recognized that this was too busy to write on, took another piece of cardstock, stuck it on, and then decorated it with washi tape. So that's Amelia's little card, which she made all on her own, and she was super proud of it, but she made sure that I knew that it's for both me and Daddy, so I can't keep it. So anyway, thank you so much for the reminder, Shirley. I hope you guys all have a fabulous day and a great week ahead, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye for now.